Yeah, that's right. We got some Club Condo, episode 3 of Survivor 48, and a historic week of Survivor. So much to talk about from the world of social media and beyond. Back here with a guy who maybe you might see him at Luigi's sometime soon. It's Chappell. Chappell, how are you?
Yeah, or maybe you won't. Maybe I'll say I'm going to go and then just not pull up in the over the course of the next few months. Who knows? Rob, I'm great. I'm great. I'm happy. We got another good episode of Survivor. Some great say content as well. So we were fed this week.
Yes, it's been a very exciting week with this double overtime tribal council and then so much discussion around it in these last couple of days. Of course, you could hear everything we've got, including I talked to Dwight Moore for another interpretation of the rules. And I think there's some debate of did Survivor get this right on the ruling or wrong on the ruling? You could hear that in our We Know Survivor podcast feed, We Know Survivor.com. But here today, Chappell, so much to get into. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Can I just say I don't care about the rules? I don't. I gotta understand why people do, but I think they're like I think Survivor got it right, and we just don't like the rules. You know, like Survivor did what Survivor was going to do, and we're like, oh, we don't like that. We want to change them. Boo, we don't care, Dwight. We don't care. Let's move on. We had great television this time. Cedrek made a bunch of boo-boos in this episode anyway that we shouldn't even be talking about. So yeah, the rules are what got me hyped. But you know, there's been some drama this season. Who knew you could get this kind of action from a 4-person tribe? It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was certainly a wild night. I do have some questions about the interpretation of the rules. I think that ultimately, whether you agree with Survivor's interpretation or I think that the other way of looking at it, which I come down on more, I think in both cases, Justin should have been the person to go home. So it's not like that there was some miscarriage of justice, but I think I have a little bit of a disagreement with how we ultimately got to that outcome.
And as far as Justin is concerned, man, what a rough go. You know, it seems like he had it all, and then just slowly, just the drain got pulled out, and just like the water, he's like circling the drain, and it was just like the slow decline. The show does him no favors. We hear in his exit press day, like, no, he did fight for his life, even though the internet was like, boo, this guy isn't even trying. I don't know what's going on. Justice for Justin. You know, I think that a lot of people had him as like a winner pick going in. This was one of those episodes that you just gonna look back at it and be like, damn, that sucks.
Well, one of the things about Justin was that we heard this week that Survivor Medical uncovered some kind of like medical issue he had with his heart that he was able to get fixed. Like maybe that was the role that Survivor was supposed to play. Maybe he was just supposed to like get his life saved, and then that was it. Survivor didn't owe him anything after that.
Right. So then once you came on, it's like, no, we already gave you what you got from this. You know, you weren't even supposed. You're on borrowed time, baby. You know, it's like on the one hand, I'm glad he got to play. On the other hand, I mean, there are pretty awful ways to go out of Survivor. This is probably one of the worst. I won't say it is the worst, but there are some pretty bad exits that people have from Survivor that I don't think they had like much to do with them. You know, it's kind of just like I just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time and I got voted out. He lost his vote, which is crazy. And he only got sent on the thing by random. Yeah, the dice roll that was random. Could he done stuff differently? Sure. But still, this is tough. This is one of those things that if you plan on going on Survivor, you never dream that you could end up in a situation like this.
Chappell, did you care that he lost his vote on the dice thing?
I thought it'd be interesting. I thought like, oh, that'll be fun. But like, I wasn't like I was annoyed, but I've been annoyed at the new era for a long time. You know, like the new era has been snatching votes and doing all kinds of weird shit since 41. And I like to go back to the thing that Jeff used to say. It's the monster. He don't talk about the monster no more, but the monster is prevalent now. The monster is here. It's like you could be minding your business and the monster say, hey, your game is over. You don't have a vote now. Now what? You know, it's like I didn't do anything. He's like, yeah, well, that was the monster speaking. So I think the monster is in full effect in a way it really wasn't in 41 and 42.
Interesting. Who else do you feel like that happened to? Because I feel like it's been less than it was at the very outset of the new era.
Remember when they were doing the coin flip? Oh, I hated that so much. Like the do or die wasn't the thing.
Yeah, but that was 41 and 42.
Yeah, I hated that. But there's been other situations where I've been like, you know, if we weren't taking all these votes and doing all this weird stuff, like this person probably would be fine-ish in the game. Like we used to complain about tribe swaps. So like, man, somebody got swap screwed. That's tough. You know, imagine getting put on the tribe and being the only one from your tribe over there. And they have like you're just the easy vote out. Now it's like, yeah, imagine you went on a journey that you didn't ask to go on, and then something happened, and then you didn't do this, and then that happened, and then you didn't do that, and then it just the ball didn't bounce in your era. Hell, we saw the winner of Survivor win last year because she ordered the fries. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, luck's a part of the game. I haven't been too broken up about it. Sometimes you get medevaced. Basically you take a step the wrong way, you're out of the game. So
Brandon slept wrong. Who gets medevac for sleeping wrong? Did you sleep on your side? Sorry, we're gonna have to pull you from the game. The new era is nasty. It's shorter, but it's nasty business.
Yep. Okay. So we'll give you a sneak preview for next week when we talk about who got swap screwed after the swap is around the corner. Are you excited for the swap, Chappell?
Yeah, I see Mike Bloom been spoiling the swap.
I didn't look at it. I don't like to be spoiled.
You don't know about the swap?
No, I don't want to know because I like to do all the podcasts for the week and then look ahead. I actually go out of my way to avoid seeing any sort of future. There's always the swap gets spoiled by the commercial, but I try to wait till we get through the podcast.
I take a bullet for Mike Bloom, but I muted him a long time ago. He ruined my life. Mike Bloom goes out of his way to spoil stuff for me specifically. Survivor, fine, whatever. But I have other obligations during the Traders. And Mike Bloom is like, nah, here's what's happening on the Traders. He does not give a damn. He hates me so much. So I had to mute him. I love him to death, though. Take a bullet for him, but I won't unmute him. Not yet.
Okay. All right. That's coming up next week. But let's talk about the week that was. And of course, Mary made history this week when she became the second player to avoid getting voted out due to the shot in the dark. Chappell, what was your reaction to Mary's shot in the dark?
I figured some weirdness was coming, right? I did the classic thing of hey, we're going to tribal council. There's 30 minutes left in the episode. What's about to happen? So I kind of landed on that. And I was like, all right. And then we even had a commercial break during tribal council. So you know it's going to be some shenanigans, right? When you got that much time left in the game. And so I knew it was something was happening. When it happened, I just oh God, not like this. That's all I kept thinking. I was oh God, it's over. But I don't know. The shot in the dark is one of those things that people say it's overrated. People don't like the shot in the dark. Famously, Mary said herself that it was overrated.
Well, she said it was whack.
She said it was whack. She the shot in the dark is not all it's cracked up to be. Lady, apologize. Say you're sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Say you're sorry.
One thing that the shot in the dark is helping out is all these watch parties around the country for Survivor. So let's go around the country. First stop, Philadelphia, where Mary herself was watching the iconic moment take place. The crowd is chanting her name. Jeff holds the scroll and gets ready to reveal Mary is safe.
She did it.
She did it.
She did it.
She did it, and she's up and she's dancing
in the
on
sweater.
The table.
In the iconic sweater.
So there you go. There was Mary live in Philadelphia.
Rob, knee-jerk reaction. What's the more iconic shot in the dark? Is it Kaleb or is it Mary?
So we also had our live watch party for when Kaleb played the shot in the dark. And we were also fortunate enough to have Caleb's cousin in the room when
standing
that
on the
happened.
Table, wearing the sweater, et cetera, et cetera.
Now, I know there is recency bias. Mary is mother.
She is.
I think Caleb's was better. I'll give you a couple reasons why.
Mother.
She's not mother. What is
she?
No,
Mary's mother. Kaleb is not mother.
Caleb's not mother. Caleb's not mother. But let
me
me tell you the reasons why I think that the Kaleb shot in the dark was better.
Okay.
And before Twitter ends me for being sexist trash, here's my analytical reasons why Caleb's shot in the dark was better. First off, first time it happened. First is better than the second, right?
Well, okay, fair. Some would say you need a rough draft before a masterpiece, but okay.
Also, we had come to know Kaleb better than we have come to know Mary. This is only episode 3. I believe that was episode 6 of Survivor 45.
You're right. I would say this is probably more of Mary's coming out episode than anything.
Kaleb had been through more of the battles of that he was going to get voted out. Emily ended up turning on Sabaya and Sean, and it was a whole journey that Kaleb had been on. Also, Mary canceled 2 votes. Kaleb canceled what? 12 votes?
About a billion. It was a whole heap of votes. Big reaction as well from the Kaleb crowd. I remember that vividly. We were in Brea at the time, and at the Improv. It was a fantastic night for something like that.
Waiters were high-fiving each other that didn't even watch Survivor.
They didn't even know who Kaleb was.
They didn't even know who Kaleb was. And so incredible moment that it really was just amazing. Now, I will give Mary credit for the chain reaction of events that Mary set off. Far more entertaining than just, hey, everybody, let's just vote out J. Maya.
Right. Because also, if you want to talk about downside to Kaleb, J. Maya went home that episode. So boo that episode.
The downsides to Kaleb is that it very quickly becomes, okay, well, that's easy. We'll just vote out J. Maya. And then also Kaleb gets voted out the next episode. So those are the downsides of the Kaleb. But just in terms of like who had the better shot in the dark moment, I think that Kaleb's was better. Also, the crowd went wild. Not much of a reaction from, say, Justin and Cedrek.
Yeah, we didn't have the crowd support that we had for Kaleb. You know, like these were people who liked him but wanted him out of the game, and so he had his own audience there. I mean, the entire jury, except with the exception of J. Maya, is sitting there when it happens because she's not on it. They're all sitting there, and so they're cheering while sitting directly next to him. This was kind of like Mary's Shot in the Dark hit, and nobody is excited about this. I mean, it's crazy that it happened, but if I'm Cedrek, if I'm Justin, if I'm Sam, I'm like, oh God, what is this? I don't know. I obviously the Kaleb one is a bigger deal. I think it's just in scale. But I do like the way the episode set this whole thing up. We get the Mary versus Say the entire time, where they're like, they Survivor doesn't do this often, where they do like the rivals that are actually like, no, I respect them. It's not, I don't want them out. I don't hate them. It's just, I want them out of the game because we're not playing together. But otherwise,
it's only the second time it's happened in the last 4 episodes of Survivor.
Right. And so exactly. So this is happening, and they're like, no, we like each other. This is fine, but you gotta go. And so once it gets to the point where it hits, it's kind of like, wait, is there a way we could keep both of these iconic queens here together so that they can fight another day? And while the universe said no, Cedrek said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. I'll say the other thing about this, why the Mary thing ends up being overshadowed by the Kaleb thing, is that the Mary thing wasn't even the craziest thing that happened in this episode. You know, that the Mary plays the shot in the dark and it hits, only sets off what would be crazier stuff to happen a couple of moments. There was a 1 in 6 chance that Mary hit the shot in the dark. It was a 1 in a million shot that we saw.
This should not have happened. This should not have happened. Young Cedrek.
Yeah. Okay.
He had a decision to make.
Yeah. Yes, he did. He did have a decision to make. Yeah. All right.
What's wrong with you, boy?
Let's go out to San Francisco for the Bryce and Wen watch party reaction to Mary's Shot in the Dark. Okay? Everybody can chant Mary. Safe. Where were all the Justin fans? Nobody was like, damn it.
Like rats, you know. Me, a Say fan over there in the corner thinking like, oh my God, it's over. What are we doing? I could hear Danielle Reyes and Sasha Joseph in that clip as well. It was a star-studded event over there in Bryson Wynn in San Francisco. Crazy that happened. You know, that's the thing. RHAP, we have a knack for just like, you know, by happenstance, find it like lucking up on those moments. But now that these watch parties are happening around the place, like all over the place, I think largely due to like RHAP and the Survivor community being a lot bigger now, like we have more opportunities to catch these moments. Like imagine if we had shots around the world of people laughing at Malcolm getting voted out that time with Mike Bloom. You know, that'd be crazy.
Well,
One
that's
person at
the
every
good thing
party.
about modern day Survivor in the new era is that no matter what happens, there's going to be a watch party somewhere that's being filmed that we're going to get live reactions of it.
And we needed that. But someone should have done filming the live reactions of everything that happens next, because Cedrek goes on to just lose his damn mind for the next 30 minutes of the episode.
Nobody has that much data on their phone to record 30 minutes of chaos.
It really is. And it's calm chaos too, because it's very much like just not explaining anything. He said, all right, there's only 2 votes. Y'all go back and vote. And people are like, we don't get a reaction for Cedrek being like, why are there only 2 votes? We just get them like, okay, I guess I'll just do it again. It's like, Cedrek, pay attention. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You know what's happening. I think y'all know what's happening. But like, you have to know that, like, as people were talking about with the rules, sir, it sounds like you're about to vote yourself out if you don't flip soon. So
that's what I thought.
Get this one out.
Yeah,
I kind of thought it was too. I was like, is he about to get Seremageddon out of here? Like, if that's the case, fine. You know, peace. Like, what are you doing? Flip, man, flip. Cedrek.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, let's get into some of the social media highlights. And of course, our queen, Say, is back at it. She's carrying this season on her back on social media and maybe on the screen too. And so this week,
definitely
what's that?
On the screen.
Definitely.
She's definitely carrying it. Did you see she broke the record for most confessionals in the first 3 episodes? Again?
Oh, I didn't see for the first 3 episodes. I saw for the first episode.
No. So in the first 3 episodes, and I'll send you the graphic, but in the first 3 episodes, I believe Rob's fact checker tweeted this out that Say has now surpassed one of your faves and mine, Russell Hantz, for having the most confessionals, which is crazy considering Russell Hantz is the only person with confessionals in Samoa. So crazy times here that Say is just like you said, she's carrying it. I know she's exhausted. She's tired. Can she rest? Not yet. Apparently not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So this week we had Say called out a fellow podcaster. She says, my first order of business will be getting on this Purple Pants podcast and having a clear conversation with Jack, because this man is always loud and wrong.
Oof. What did Jack say?
Now, I don't know exactly what he said.
Yeah, and I asked myself, what did he do to make her so mad? You know, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sure, I mean, Say has not been wrong yet. So I'm sure, you know, he's probably wrong. And I'd have to guess that he was probably loud about it too. I saw in the comments, though, I saw the Purple Pants podcast. They saw this and they've been posting about it on Instagram. Did you see that?
No, maybe here, get me the link and I'll play it and I'll show you what they're saying over there. I have to agree with Say, again, I don't know what Jack particularly said, but, you know, I've thought about this. And Chappell, I was thinking like, you know, I would struggle with, you know, it's one thing for me to be critical of one of my peers playing the game. I think if I was a player, I would really struggle with people who've never played Survivor telling me how what I did was wrong. I would struggle with that. That's, I mean, I am opening up my heart and I'm telling you that is something that it'd be one thing. I was like, okay, somebody that's done it. Okay. All right. I get it. But for just random people to tell me that I'm wrong, I would have a hard time with that.
Look, speaking as the random person who is often telling these people they're wrong, I will go on and say that, yeah, that's gotta suck. But guess what? I didn't go play Survivor, you did. And so I get to be like, well, it's crazy, Cedrek. You had a decision to make and you made the wrong one, or you made the right one, or you should have made that one faster. I can do that all day, every day, baby. You can't do nothing about it. But guess what? You have the opportunity to go on the show and win. And if you win, you shut me up. If you lose, then you know, I get to talk a little bit. And so I think Jack
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I would struggle with that.
It would bother me. Honestly, what's even bigger is like a random person telling me that I should have done something different on Survivor. That's annoying. A person who was on the circle telling me that I'm joking. I've never seen the circle, so I'm just joking. But yeah, like no, I could definitely see where that's annoying. I think that's one underrated part of the Survivor experience that, of course, people don't talk about. Is that like, yeah, you're going on there to do the game of a lifetime and to play the game, win a life-changing amount of money, all that other stuff. But then as you're doing that, you have people like me and Jack and like the 18,000 billion people on Twitter and all these other websites who are sharpening our knives to just be like, boo, boo this man, boo this woman. I don't like it. Boo, underrated, shot in the dark, overrated, shot in the dark. Like, we are here to drag and to talk trash from the safety of our home. And that's what we chose to do when we decided not to go and compete for $1 million. So yeah, tough. But Bryson Wynn, like I said, I think they saw it and people were egging it on. They were saying like, hey, we need to bring Say on. I think Say even suggested that her and Mary come on and do a duo podcast over the Purple Pants podcast.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. We'll see if that comes together at some point after the season. All right. Then also, Say had something else to write on social media.
You can say it. It's okay. We're not going to confusing.
It gets confusing.
I mean, we say it so much at this point, but like at this point, just lean in.
Yeah. I know I think it was Thundercats in the chat the other day during the Q&A was talking about like that between Say and Cedrek, between Say said. Yeah. It's too much.
Young Cedrek has some decisions to make. Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, actually, okay. Here is we have the Purple Pants podcast. Then, but this is just what I already read.
Just get into the comment section though, Rob. If you can pull up on the screen, I just really want to point out one comment in particular, and I know they're gonna kick my ass for doing it, but I don't care. Okay. Yeah, we get this Instagram post from Purple Pants Podcast on Instagram, and people are in the comments. I think it says, "Looks like Say and Mother Mary finally have something in common, meeting Jack after school behind the basketball court." So I guess even Mary has some issues with Jack Atkins. But if you scroll down into the comments, you see Wendell hyping this up. But look at Davey. Davey says, "I love that Jack is the Simon Cowell of the Purple Pants podcast." Now, who the hell is Simon Cowell?
I don't know.
I don't know that
Pokemon
man.
Character.
Simon Cowell, man. I don't know. Like, what the fuck? Simon Cowell.
Davey knows like all these different like franchises and stuff.
Simon Cowell, Davey.
Oh.
Cowell.
And Bryce is Paula and Wendell is Randy.
It would be yeah, but like the other Randy Jackson, the hee that one, because it was Simon Cowell. Davey, what the hell?
Maybe autocorrect got him.
No, it didn't. if you look, don't like that.
I liked it.
I did reply to that comment. I think Davey just told me to shut the hell up or something to that nature, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Wendell keeps saying, gather him.
Get him together, drag him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. It's a tough world. I imagine having Say and Mary trying to whoop your ass after this whole season is over. I hope they win.
Yeah, well, but I think it's good for the Purple Pants podcast that Jack is getting called out by the players. How come none of the players call you out? Wouldn't that be good for this podcast? Can't you say something that the players call you out for?
Well,
you're always like, I want all the players to like me.
What did I say? Who said that?
Why won't you say something that makes the players call you out so we can hype it up for this show?
Oh, okay. Who you want me to pick on? Pick a person. It can't be Say. Don't say. Hey, Rob, check that last link I sent you. I actually did get called out by Say. You want to put that one up on the screen? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Since we're talking about it.
All right. Let's see.
Let's see.
Is this on where? Is this
Instagram? On X.com. X.com. I sent you the link in the private chat. Yeah. Check it out.
I got too many tabs open. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. On X.com. This is
real Sayonia.
Okay. All right, this is, she says, guys, my back is officially broken. I'm getting surgery soon. Can she rest? A question posed by the iconic Chappell. Unfortunately, the answer is that I wasn't able to rest after all. But she didn't call you out.
Yeah, but look, she's paying homage. She knows we love her here.
People only care about beef.
Now, look, I'm getting tagged in not beef. Okay, look at that. This is the link that I was talking about, though. She set a new Survivor record for the most confessionals in the first 3 episodes, beating Russell Hance's season 19 record of 27. She's up to 34. The closest person in the last week was Kevin, and he wasn't even in this episode.
Pretty good. She's out in front by far. If you have to say in some sort of like fantasy league where you get points for confessionals, you're killing it.
Yeah. Also, pray for the queen. She just had surgery. She will be recovering. Her back is not okay. She is still carrying.
Okay. All right. Also, then, one other piece of business from Say that I want to bring up. Okay. We had, of course, star of Survivor 46 and, of course, a great guest here on Club Condo. Jelinski talked about his love of Justin, the pizza man. And he said, nah, my boy was robbed. Long live Justin P.O.P. And Say said, Debatable.
No, first of all, Say, you got to give Jelinski some grace because Justin, as we have decided, is at least his second cousin, at least on some, there's some type of DNA there that they share. So it's not like, he got to stick up for his family. Yeah, there's a little crossover there. Jelinski, my dog. I think the reason why people don't be beefing with me is because I'm on the right side with this one. Like I was Team Jelinski from day one. I drafted him. I should have drafted him. I didn't draft him. I knew better. I knew better than to draft him. But I stood tall. I said, Jelinski, this is an icon, and we're still talking about him to this day. Crazy talk. Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Long live at least King Jelinski.
King Jelinski. Yeah, we'll keep King Jelinski around. Do we ever see Justin play Survivor again?
I don't think so.
I feel like you can start making cases for like seasons where you bring in people who were maybe done wrong by the monster, some swap screw people, maybe some medevacs. Maybe you can find space for somebody like Justin.
I'm trying to think if the show would like that idea, but I think that they kind of might.
They might, because remember, I think Survivor really started leaning into like you can't expect anything from the show, right? Like it is what it is. Sometimes you win an award, sometimes you losing a vote, sometimes you do this, sometimes you do that, and a lot of times it's out of your control. I think highlighting how sometimes this is out of your control and like kind of giving that back to the players, I think that'd be a decent season. It'd be very reminiscent of Ghost Island, where it's like, here are the things that took you out of the game last time.
Yeah.
Face them again. Yeah. We're taking everybody's votes this time. No shot in the dark. All that kind of stuff.
Let's talk about another player that was not part of this famous tribal council. And David had a big moment this week where we found out a lot about David's backstory in this episode. And we learned a couple of things about David, that David lives in a trailer at his dad's house. And despite what Kyle says, he does not think it's cool.
I live at home in a trailer in that 8 Mile. Yeah. I thought this scene was very interesting because he's telling the story, and Kyle, he comes from like one of those Survivor factories where you just kind of instinctively know what to do and say in moments like this, where he just kind of like, yeah, that's great. It's like, no. Sometimes it's not great. It's not great to everybody. Some people, they love that kind of thing. David is not happy about his situation, living in front of his dad's house in a trailer, not really having the money to, romance his girlfriend the way he would like right now. He's like, hey, it's not sexy. It's not very sexy to be living like this. And so he wants to change. He wants to change his life around. He wants to win the money so that his girlfriend doesn't leave him. And I face palm so hard in this moment, Rob, because David, don't share that with the rest of us. Don't share that with the Survivor fans. They're crazy. They're going to tell you you're better than that woman. You don't deserve that woman. I mean, that woman doesn't deserve you. Then
I think it was a great move. A power move from David.
That lady probably looked over at him from the kitchen table while they were watching it and was just like, really? They're sitting inside the trailer as we speak. Yeah. And she's like, here I am, sitting here in this trailer with you grinding it out. Are you trying to make me look like a gold digger on TV?
I respect it. Way to go, David. Nobody loves spilling the tea about your own relationship to a public audience to make you look good. That's my move.
That is really your move. When I heard you talking about it, I was like, of course Rob thinks this is
It's brilliant.
It is not brilliant because it's going to get back to her. And you have to know that when these things get back to Nicole, they don't go great for you. They don't. You know that. Like, you know what this man, she's watching the show with him.
Well, that's the mistake. That's the mistake. He said it in media that she's gonna see. I
Yes.
say it on podcasts
She
my wife
never
is never going to
listens
listen
to your
to.
Right. You say it on RHAP where it's
I'm the
very
hero
deep.
of this narrative.
Exactly. His wife is like she's probably like, honey, I threw this watch party for you, blah blah blah. We rented out a little ballroom area for all your friends and family because obviously we can't have them at the trailer. She's doing all this stuff to celebrate you being on TV. And on episode 3, you like, you know who sucks? My wife. No, just like it wasn't like that, but it definitely felt like, hey, she's gonna leave me if I don't win the money. Now, obviously, I think that was tongue in cheek. I really do. But even if it wasn't, I don't think that's what you say to the person who's probably watching it with you, holding your hand through this entire thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like the move. You don't say this on TV.
I mean, look, who's to say? Look,
I'm just
saying. Look, and this was the great backup plan was that there's probably like a bunch of people like I don't care if David wins, I'd date him.
And that's the other problem, right? So now all these people are like,
this is a win-win. Give him the fishy.
Except for his girlfriend, who's like, "What the hell?" She's like, "You know what? Instead, I am gonna marry you, and you're stuck with me." Like, I'm bringing up this argument every week. It's like, "Oh well, honey, I'm going to the store. Make sure you don't tell no cameras that I'm a gold digger while you out there." You know, she gonna be on him forever. Who you talking to? Did you tell him I'm only keeping you for the money? Is that it? Did you tell him you lost Survivor and I stayed? Huh? Did you, honey? I was like, bro, please, David, please. What are you doing? You know, on Temptation Island this season on Netflix, Maggie and Kirsten are covering it here on RHAP on WeKnowRealityTV.com. And one of the cast, she's like, you know, they're gonna see everything they say about each other. This lady is like, yeah, my boyfriend, he's got some bitch tendencies. I said, oh my God, he's gonna watch the show back. Like, do you plan on going home with them? Now, that is the least egregious thing that I saw on television watching Temptation Island, but still, when y'all go on these shows, y'all know we see y'all, right? Like,
Chappell, speaking of couples who have been through it competing, have you seen that Spanish Temptation Island breakout star Montoya and his girlfriend are now competing on Spanish Survivor? That they brought them in?
I heard not only did they come in, but I think she beat his ass there too. Like, I think did you see that?
Yeah, I don't even understand what's going on here because if you're on social media and maybe if you're not on social media, I'll explain. There have been these viral clips that have been going on from the Spanish-speaking season of Temptation Island where there's this guy Montoya and they keep showing him videos of his girlfriend fornicating with a guy. And they keep like putting him in front of the TV, and then he has to keep watching it, and he does not take it well.
No. I mean, and it be like, no.
If you thought Justin got, you know what, you should see Montoya's girlfriend, okay?
Yeah. Look, she took it well, and only she did. Like, this guy was really struggling with that. Now, mind you, it's Temptation Island. He probably sucks too. They typically do a thing where the people suck. And the people who react the worst are probably the ones who are the biggest villains in the situation. So I really want to hear both sides. But yeah, now they're on Survivor.
But hold on. What is this technology that Montoya and his girlfriend became such big stars that somehow like is Survivor happening live in Spain? How did they do this? These people on Survivor 48, they filmed Survivor like 6 years ago. How is in Spain Montoya is such a big deal on Twitter that they already got him and his girlfriend in a new season of Survivor that's airing? What the hell?
Okay, well, Conexion Honduras probably filmed like years ago as well. You know, like I think that's the one they're on. Because even Temptation Island, the U.S. version, I think it filmed in 2022 or 2023. So it's like they just
knew they're like, these two are gold. We got to put them on more shows.
I think these two are just gold, and they just happen to be on 2 shows. I think that's what it is. You know, once you're in the pipeline for the reality shows, you just kind of make your way. You know, like we see people who bounce from like, you know, they'll be on Love Is Blind, then they'll be on whatever, the Ultimatum,
they'll be on Big Brother, then they'll be on The Amazing Race.
Exactly. Yeah, like, but they do that, and then all the Big Brother players are now playing Amazing Race. I think it just happens to be that this couple. I don't even think I think this the Temptation Island thing aired like way after this Survivor thing was filmed, and these people were like, "Oh, release the footage. Now is the time." You know, like the editors are in the room.
The Survivor was in the can. I was like, "Hey, release Montoya's season."
Yeah, we weren't going to air it, but now we got to. Matter of fact, they're doing the Montoya cut. Like, he doesn't win, but he's got more confessionals than Say in the first 3 episodes because you gotta strike while the iron is hot.
Montoya's like, my girlfriend, if I don't win this money, I don't think it's gonna work out.
She's threatened to take me on Temptation Island, whatever that is.
She says she's gonna start seeing other people. I don't know.
I don't know how I would handle that. Yeah, and I think she beat him recently in the immunity challenge. Did you see that?
Yeah, is this the clip of?
Yeah, the clip is in the private chat.
I didn't think that we'd spend so much time breaking this. You said this is Honduras Survivor?
It's Conexión Honduras 2. Season 2.
Okay. It's always bigger. I said Shannon Gus needs to get on this. I think that you and Puya and Mike should be doing the daily updates with Shannon, talking about this every week.
This counts as Survivor Global. It does. In my mind, it does at least. Conexión Honduras Season 2.
All right, here we go. And this is from an account on X.com. And they are showing, here is Anita. Anita is Montoya's girlfriend. Here they are in some sort of like head-to-head immunity challenge.
Yeah.
And
de verdad, os aplaudimos muy fuerte porque este juego que nos estáis regalando es increíble.
Wow. Hay Montoya que tiene dificultades. Está a punto.
Montoya is out. Okay. Yeah. Now, in fairness, Montoya's girlfriend has unquestioned stamina and endurance. She can go for hours and hours. A pole challenge?
This is nothing.
That's her wheelhouse.
I've seen her sit on things longer than this on Twitter before. Like, I knew the moment I saw her hanging upside down by her legs, I said, Montoya, hang it up. You're out of your league, buddy. I've seen that lady on her feet. Do you imagine what you could just do with her ankles? Are you crazy?
You're in over your head, Montoya.
Anita, Queen Anita. I wonder if she wins the game.
Put her on Survivor 50, you cowards.
Yeah, stop being a loser. Bring her back. Bring Anita back. Put Anita on the Amazing Race. You know,
they should go on the Amazing Race.
Montoya should not go on Amazing Race. Anita, live your life. Montoya, protect your peace.
She should go on the Amazing Race with another guy, as Montoya has to run solo.
Yeah. So we got to get her out here. We got to get Anita out in the streets, man, because she's running these people ragged in Honduras, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So David, though, and this is what we were talking about with sometimes you get a lot of unsolicited feedback from folks when you're somebody on Survivor. And now David's having to go through it. Okay. And not from Jack Atkins. Maybe Jack Atkins. David says, I've been trying to transition away from stunts to pursue a career as a pilot. I've spent every bit of money and I had to get my commercial license and instrument rating, but no luck so far getting hired anywhere. So when you say just get a job, bro, no, fuck, boop, I'm trying.
No effing I'm trying. Yeah, telling people to get a job is weird because a lot of them be trying to get a job. And also, it's like, I just can't get any job. I have to get a job that pays the bills.
Stay away from her. Get a job, they say.
Get away. Sometimes that's real. Sometimes that's real AF. But I think that, look, David, this is why you don't put your business on the street. Oh, this is people in your business like, you're a stunt double. This isn't real. This isn't real job. You get a better job. Because they're coming in to defend this woman that you told everybody was only using you for your money. You should have just kept it to yourself. I know you're a great TV character right now, but at what cost? Maybe you'll get hired though. Maybe people will see you. I think he's got some leading man looks. He could probably go into acting or something like that if he's got the chops.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
All right. So, and look, some of these,
Yeah. Look, the Zaddy calendar is calling as well. He got a modeling career in him for sure. What are the odds that David doesn't end up on he's on the Zaddy calendar for next year as well, right?
Yeah.
Like we know, like he's got some opportunities coming.
He's got some opportunities going on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Chappell, this has been the season. Survivor 48 has been the season of the fan accounts of different players. Of course, the leader in the clubhouse is Starbase 48. Starbase 48 tells us everything that we need to know every single week about what's going on with Star Toomey, and of course keeps us updated every week about what's going on. And here this week, Star Toomey reveals, or Star Accounts reveals, that Eva has finally told Star about her having autism. Is hopefully what I'll say next week, because once again, she has not told Star.
Autism Part 3, Electric Boogaloo.
Star Updates is really just has changed the game.
Why is this Part 3 Electric Boogaloo? That Breaking Part 2 was Electric Boogaloo. What are you doing?
But that's Part 2
Yeah, this is Part 3. Yeah, this is what are we doing? This is like saying like Autism Part 3 Cruise Control. It's like, no, that was number 2. You can't just jump to number 3. I can't think of any of the good the thirds of the trilogy names. Was it like Die Harder or something like that? Die Hard with a
Vengeance, I think is what the third one is.
Autism with a Vengeance. It's right there. I got to feel like that should have been the title. Autism Part 3 with a Vengeance.
Okay.
Come on, Star Updates. I'm gonna text them. I'm gonna DM them. We gotta talk.
Wait, you have the text number for Star Updates?
I wish. I really don't understand. You know, of all the people that I really want to be friends with on this cast, Star is one of the top candidates for that. Mary as well. I was very happy to tell. I told everybody, like, before the season, I heard Mary's preseason stuff. That's my homie. She don't know it yet. She don't even know I exist, but that's my homie. But Star, yeah, I need to talk to Star, and I need to talk to Star Updates, both of them separately, and then maybe together.
I got another update. I feel like we need a stinger for Star Update. Are happening now. Here we go. Star Update says Star currently has the least confessionals out of every person in the game. However, she is a woman, so being under-edited by the Survivor editors is a good sign. However, she's a woman, so being under-edited by the Survivor editors is a good sign. She is reheating Erica's nachos, they say. That
part. And look, people be reheating nachos these days. And it get real out here too. But I think that like Erica's nachos are not the ones like I wouldn't avoid them. She won $1 million. You go if you're gonna reheat some nachos, them the ones to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But aren't they not as good the second time when you reheat them?
They're not. But look, if they work, right? Are they nachos or are they not? It's kind of like you reheat them, but then you add your own little special salsa and stuff like that to the nachos as well. You don't just take the nachos as is. People were giving Lady Gaga a hard time because they were saying she was reheating a lot of nachos in her Mayhem album.
Hey, play the hits.
Look, do what works, right? But she wasn't just reheating her own nachos. Like,
you know what happens when I stop reheating the nachos? Hey, Rob, where are the nachos?
Where are the nachos that we missed the nachos? It's just that, Rob.
Aren't you going to use? You used to do nachos all the time. Why now? How come you're not reheating them?
Rob, it's okay for you to reheat your own nachos. I wanted to try something
different. We don't like that.
Right, but we can't reheat your nachos for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can reheat your own nachos, but it gets kind of tacky sometimes when you are reheating other people's nachos. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have a new update account to discuss here this week. Brand new one on the board. Chappell, are you interested in following what Cedrek is up to?
Yeah, I got questions.
Okay.
I need updates actually.
Well, enter the chat. Cedrek, shady updates.
Young Cedrek.
Rumor, Survivor 48 star Cedrek was apparently seen shopping at a CVS in his home state of South Carolina. What do we think he bought? And there's a photo of Cedrek and a CVS.
What do we have in the comments is like potential purchases from young Cedrek.
Buying a pen and paper to write down even more names, said charity updates. Oh my God.
Shit. There's a charity updates too. I feel like you got to get these signed off on. You can't just call yourself the updates account. Rob, you and Asia talked about how Asia didn't have an updates account, and I took offense to that.
You were Asia, but you needed to rebrand to Chappell, like Line Break, Asia Wealth Update account.
I just feel like all of RHAP was the Asia updates. I was losing my mind. I probably sent that red A so many times on Twitter or in text message form. What these updates accounts? If anything, they're reheating my nachos because I was. RHAP
Well, that's
put
the
Asia
person
on.
who started it never gets the credit.
Never get the credit. Trust me, that's my story of my life.
Yeah. Let me see if there's any other shady Cedrek
You buy from
updates.
CVS a pen and paper.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Also, Cedrek Shady says Mary Zhang is brat.
Period.
Okay.
Facts.
So we'll see what other Cedrek updates come across. And please let us know any other good updates you have.
Yeah, or the good updates accounts. Yeah, if you're listening to this and you know, like, hey, dog, you think the Star Toomey updates account is fire? Wait till you see this, and you show us, like, you know, the Kevin updates, you know, or something like that. Like, give us the good updates account so we can keep track of them. We know this is really, honestly, you want to talk about nachos? This is really the Big Brother game. The Big Brother, I think the Big Brother fans have found their way into the Survivor social media world, because this is typical Big Brother nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so peaceful right now because it's spring. But once the summer rolls around, the craziest are out.
I don't know.
Man.
I think that I think it's kind of Big Brother season right now, low key.
You see them peeking their heads out. They're like trying to make Survivor work. The Amazing Race has their attention. The trainers kind of dragged them out of retirement. But this summer, on the RHAP, it's going down. We're bringing out the crazies, and it's going to be the best time ever.
Chappell, there have been so many famous people talking about Survivor of late, and they just keep coming. And I guess it's cool to be a Survivor fan now. It used to be, oh, is that show still on? Loser? Well, not anymore, because there is a lot of famous people out here talking and dressing like survivors, including Role Model.
Role Model?
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Role Model.
Look at that. It looks just like Jeff Probst.
Okay.
Except kind of Jeff Probst.
Okay.
Probstian.
But who's Role Model?
I don't know, Rob.
Okay.
Maybe we're old.
Brandon, who's Role Model?
At Role Model. He's an American singer.
He's an American singer. He's really good. He has a song right now called Sally When the Wine Runs Out.
Yeah, but I have more Twitter followers than him.
Listen, he's got a hit song. It's on TikTok. It's trending on TikTok. He does a thing.
So he's big on TikTok?
He's big on TikTok. He does a thing during his concerts when he performs his big song that he'll bring out the Sally
Shot in the dark.
Like, well, maybe now.
The Sally, that's the person that has their socks pulled up the highest because he's such a big Survivor fan.
He'll bring out a person from the crowd, and they'll be the Sally, and they'll dance with him on stage during the last chorus of the song. So, I mean, if we go, then maybe one of us will get pulled. He's a fan.
Does he want to come on Club Condo?
He's small enough, I guess. He might get through his DMs. You know, he's our kind of caliber of guest. But he's big, and this was, I like his song. Stream Sally When the Wine Runs Out on Spotify.
Sally When the Wine Runs Out.
It's a
That's W-I-N-E?
W-I-N-E. It's a good song. You guys, if you're listening, you'll like it.
Okay.
Right. I love a good song recommendation, so this works for me.
There you go. There's Role Model. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then we've got another famous person who is paying attention to Survivor. Now, this is actually a famous person that you've heard of. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Who have I heard of? How famous?
So a very famous pop star, not Chappell, Chappell Roan, talked about Survivor. Okay.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Yeah, but hear me out. Remember when you had said that it was getting cool for people to watch Survivor, and the famous people are getting into it? I don't think this clip really demonstrates that. I think that
but at least she acknowledged it. She acknowledged it.
She did say that Survivor exists. Go ahead and hit play.
But I've been watching a lot.
We should watch Survivor.
Survivor?
Yes.
When?
Oh, my childhood.
Oh, because Thomas was
Yeah,
in
I feel like we need to watch it. Apparently, it's a really good season.
I've watched so many episodes of Survivor, so many seasons growing up, because it's like it was on TV all the fucking time. And I feel like I'm just so... I will watch it, but it is like...
It's like what? What is it like?
She's like, so, it's just like, I said, this is not a glowing endorsement. This is like, Chappell looks disgusted. First of all, when she said Survivor, I really love this frame by frame. When she said Survivor, she doesn't clutch her pearls. She gasps at the thought of it. Like, she covers her mouth like, Survivor.
But I've been watching a lot. Watch Survivor. Survivor? Yes.
Oh, my childhood. Maybe she had a bad childhood.
Well, the last season she saw was Island of the Idols, and so she's like, "Oh my god."
Because Thomas was.
Yeah, I feel like we need to watch it.
Yeah. Okay, so first off, Thomas already got a Instagram comment from Olivia Rodrigo, and now Chappell Roan knows him on a first name basis. Not even like gotta explain. Wait, who's like that guy Thomas that we know? He's on it. Like, oh, Thomas is on it.
Apparently, it's a really good season.
I've watched so many episodes of Survivor, so many seasons growing up, because it's like it was on TV all the fucking time.
I don't know if it was on all the
Was
effing
it
time.
1 week, twice a season.
I mean,
did
Chappell Roan, did your parents have Pluto TV? Because maybe in that case, maybe it was on all the effing time.
Right.
But I think it's only on like once a week.
And not every month either.
Yeah, it's only for like 26 weeks out of the year.
She sounds like she loves Survivor.
And I feel like I'm just so.
Literally.
I will watch it, but it is like.
Period.
But I've been watching a lot. Survivor.
Yeah. Now, why does the friend say it's supposed to be a good season?
I think the friend and Chappell Roan both know Thomas. And I think the friend was like, "Oh, Thomas, you're going to be on Survivor. I'm going to watch it." And Chappell Roan was like, "Oh, that show? Okay." She's like, "You should watch it." Oh, because Thomas is on, I guess. Like she's like, she said, I watched a ton of it because it was like always effing on, but like, it just like literally, That's it. Like, yep, ding the bell. That's it. We're watching Survivor this season. Chappell Roan said so.
Yeah.
She's been reheating nachos too. Just saying. My nachos. It's pronounced Chappell.
Yeah, she took your name.
She took my whole
not
thing.
Cool. Not cool, Chappell Roan.
Right. Even though I kind of was trying to take.
Well,
take
maybe Chappell Roan's parents want to come on and talk about Survivor.
Yeah, Chappell Roan, you got friends that watch Survivor. You're just too cool to watch it. You're like, oh, people still watch that. Send your less cool friends to come talk to us.
It's just like so. Blank.
Literally, And I was like, period, sis. Yeah, I was with her on that though. When she said it was just like so, I was like, yeah, I feel that. I felt that.
Okay.
Eat my
All right. Chappell, we have a treat today. Let's bring Brandon Donlin back in.
Hey, Brandon Donlin, named co-host of this podcast at this point. The fans love it when Brandon pop up. I see the comments. They're always like, Brandon. I'm like, not me.
Yeah. Well, Brandon is helping us put everything together for Club Condo this season, has done a great job. What do you think about what Chappell Roan had to say about Survivor?
Survivor is so.
Right?
Kim.
Right?
Maybe Kim was what she was going to say.
She was gonna say Survivor is so Kim.
Or don't Kim.
Yeah, it was a look of disgust when it was brought up. Certainly. It didn't look like she loved it. But Thomas, first name basis, pretty cool.
That's
pretty good.
I did in that couple minutes look up role model on Instagram, and the only new era Survivor contestant that follows role model is Charlie Davis, who I trust with music taste.
Okay,
he does have good music taste. Famously good music taste.
So you guys gotta listen to role model.
Okay.
However.
All right. So Brandon, so I'm under the understanding that it is today St. Patrick's Day.
It sure is.
And you have a festive game planned.
I have a festive game. Now, this is a passion project, this game.
Chappell, do you know what this is? Do you know what we're going to do?
No.
Okay.
Buckle in, because it's about to get weird. It's about to get weird for all of us. I was on Survivor in 2023, but I've been on, I've followed Survivor contestants on Instagram long before that. And one of my favorite follows in the time that I have been around is Survivor 37's Pat Cusack, our own St. Patrick, for this example. Pat was medically removed from Survivor on day 3. He tweaked his back. And now, Pat's tweaked back is all right, but he has not stopped Instagramming. And his Instagram captions sometimes have nothing to do with the image. Sometimes it has exactly to do with the image, but it's a roller coaster. So what we're going to do is I have a couple screenshots of Pat's Instagram, and we're going to go through them, and I'm going to show you the picture. You guys can describe the picture for the listeners, and then pick what caption. I have 3 captions. Some of them are fake. One of them is real. You can pick the caption. That's what we're going to do on
all right.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Guess Pat's Instagram captions. So if you're listening to the podcast, I will do my best to explain what's going on here visually. And of course, here on YouTube, you can watch it all. All right. St. Patrick's Day. Yes.
If I had shown you that middle picture of Pat, would you have recognized him as Pat from Survivor?
I think so. Why? You feel like he
I
looks,
do not know this man. Like,
well, he was, in the star of one episode. I believe it was a 90-minute episode.
It was a 90-minute episode. He got on the boat. It was one of the few medevacs that we didn't actually see happen because it was like, hey, by the way, when y'all weren't watching, something awful happened.
Right?
It's just
he made like a lewd comment about having sex with a frog, right?
I'm sorry,
don't know that that's true, but I believe it.
Rob, did you? Oh, I mean, why do we believe that it is? Now, in what context?
I think he said something was like tighter than frogs.
He said that on Survivor, and I missed it.
I remember a screenshot of him saying, "I've eaten worms in my life just because they were the only thing around to eat." Was said on the show. And then I think he got I'm sweating as much as a nun in church. I remember that.
Okay.
So he had a couple
some folksy expressions. Okay, so he's a salt of the earth kind of guy. St. Patrick's Day.
Bring back Pat. Bring him back.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Picture 1. If you want to, Rob, describe what's going on.
Yeah, so, all right. So we have a red cup, almost like a Pizza Hut, like classic Pizza Hut cup. Looks like with like half filled. Chappell, is that cup half filled or half empty?
I'm a half full kind of guy. You know, that's kind of my whole MO.
I don't think anybody would look at that cup and say, "Oh, that's half empty."
Somebody would.
Somebody might, but if somebody tells you the cup is half empty, like that's a person that's a real that person's a real sourpuss. Okay.
Meanwhile, Sam Moore's over there behind the scenes crying because we're talking about him. Sam's like, "Yeah, half of it's gone. What are you talking about?"
Okay.
Like 60%
okay. So, all right. So we've got the Pizza Hut red cup on a table, half filled with Coke and a straw. Okay.
Yes. So is the caption of this photo, "Where am I for lunch? Got a soda or snap, crackle, pop?"
Okay. So we don't really have a baseline yet here on Pat. What's the stats on this post, Brandon?
Oh, so we have 14. We have got 14 likes. We've got 1 comment on this guy.
Okay.
One comment.
All right. Chappell, do you have a strong feeling here? Because I'm leaning one way.
I feel like you're leaning toward the absurd, like right that it's like probably snap, crackle, pop.
No, so I don't think it's absurd. I feel like that. Pat is, I believe, famously from upstate New York. I feel like that this is a territory where we might be calling soda pop. And so I feel like snap, crackle, pop is where I'm leaning.
Yeah, I figured you were, but I do want to double down that is absurd. Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I just think that using a Rice Krispies tagline on a soda or a pop is still absurd. But let's go with C. I agree.
Unfortunately, now we're getting to know Pat. So even though you were wrong here, and it is, "Where am I for lunch?"
Was it Pizza
How
Hut?
would you possibly know that?
so that's getting to know Pat. It's not going to make sense. None of these are going to be. You're never going to get a strong feeling on where we go here.
Did we find out in the comments where he did go for lunch?
Is that
no,
the one comment?
I don't believe the comment. Yeah. I don't think he ever.
Brandon, we assume he knew and he was quizzing people, or he was confused.
We don't know. I'm leading. Could be column A, could be column B.
Yeah.
We're only going to get more confusing. So if we go here,
all right. Here's Pat.
So this is Pat making a pretty disgruntled face. He looks upset. I don't know what's going on in this picture. And the captions.
Yeah, he looks like, if I was going to describe this for the podcast listeners, he's got like some bitter beer face going on here. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Looks like he's been through something. Let's see.
So the captions are hashtag Twinkies, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Hashtag hot Cheetos, but that's just how it goes. Hashtag Scooby snacks, but it's worth it in the end.
Okay.
One of these is right.
Chappelle,
One of these is the caption.
I don't know if it's hot Cheetos. That's not the face of a person who's eating something hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
he's
so.
not like trying to blot out his tongue with paper towels.
I hear you, but like, are we assuming that this is the face of after someone who's ate something? Because who is eating Scooby snacks if not Scooby Doo? Like, when was the last time you had a Scooby snack? Like, I think it's like it almost never happens. If not, has probably never happened. Like, you might have had those little gummy things that they call Scooby snacks, but those are not Scooby snacks. You know, Scooby snacks are almost like dog biscuits.
Okay. Well, I'm leaning more towards the absurd. I feel like maybe it's Scooby snacks, but it's worth it in the end.
I'm down with you on the Scooby snacks because I think he's in a van and that's giving me Mystery Machine.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's giving me just Mystery Machine.
Crushed it.
Scooby snacks. But it's worth it in the end.
It sure is.
What does that even mean?
What does it mean? We don't know. Now
what is that?
Moved
Never
to the
seen one
airport.
of those before.
Well, we've got a vape. This is an image of I believe Pat's hand holding a vape in a bathroom stall. That is definitely the wall of a bathroom stall. And the captions are "Vape God going to Greece." LOL.
Real.
Lifesaver in the airport or about to flight.
About the flight is crazy.
Vape God going to Greece, LOL, is so different than the other two.
Vape God going to Greece. It is. It's the LOL too that makes it fun.
I
like
Brandon's
that
good at this, Chappelle. We could be walking into a trap.
We could be, but it's not like either of the other two really stand out as this is what the answer should be. Lifesaver in the airport, sure, but like, why do you need your life saved by tobacco in the airport? Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's like,
what do you think? You want to go with Vape God going to Greece?
Why is Pat going to Greece though? For what? Mid-August. Yeah, I'd go to Greece in August. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with A.
All right, let's go. A, Vape God going to Greece, LOL.
Unfortunately, now we'll get to why we're going to Greece. We are lifesaver in the airport. We're definitely on the way to Greece. There's a lot of pictures of Greece on the Instagram.
I love this for Pat.
Love it for
me
Pat.
Too.
Okay. All right.
So now this is going to take a minute to explain.
It's a cool guy.
The captions that I'm going to tell you after I describe the image, these are all captions on the Instagram of Pat Cusack. Every one of these was not written by me.
You took these from actual other photos. Okay. So
one of them is for this picture.
I can't. I'm trying to zoom in here. I've
done the work for you. That's Pat at Five Guys Burgers and Fries.
Okay, he's at Five Guys, but not in Greece.
Not in Greece.
Okay,
no, this seems to be at home.
Okay, so he is walking into Five Guys, and he's taking a selfie, and so the three options are the look you get when you smell that smell. I assume a positive here when you get into Five Guys.
I mean, but the look itself, Rob. What is how would you describe the look?
The look is not necessarily a pleasant look. He's not like
but it's not unpleasant.
Yeah. Okay. Option B is your boy all tuned up and ready for Greece. Now he is headed into Five Guys. This could have been a typo. He might be trying to spell Grease.
Oh, headed into Greece.
Yeah. Yep. And then last is C. When the day is new but needs help rising, you lend a hand. Now, did the shift workers at Five Guys that hey Pat, we need a sixth guy. You're the sixth man.
Yeah. The day just started. We need some help rising.
Can you get here by 8 a.m.?
How's your back? Oh.
How are you on the fry machine? How are you with grease?
Yeah.
Okay.
When the day is new, but the day needs help rising, you lend the day a hand to help with its
when
rising.
Day is new,
I think that's what we're getting.
But needs help rising.
Sure.
Lend a hand to there. Okay.
Could be any.
How is he bringing in the day at Five Guys?
Do they serve breakfast?
Is there for breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
As far as
okay.
they don't have breakfast.
Chappelle, what do you think?
I don't know what to think.
I think there would be a smell at Five Guys.
Do you think?
And maybe he
do
is
you
walking
smell that
into
smell?
to Five Guys.
Yeah, Five Guys probably smells really good. They have those fries that are nicely seasoned.
I
okay?
think maybe
$50.
Five Guys has called to Pat like the siren song.
Yeah, like he smelled that smell. He didn't even have time to put a real shirt on. He just went out in the white beater. Okay, yeah, I'm down with that. That look you get when you smell that smell.
And unfortunately, this is why Pat should be on 50. He's an elusive guy. This is on the way to Greece.
He stopped at Five Guys on the way to Greece?
Had to.
That the spelling of boy to note is
really
BOI.
pissed me off. Yeah, that really made me angry.
Is that the Greek spelling?
That is not the Greek spelling of boy. I don't know what the hell that is. That is just boy.
He's all tuned up.
And ready for Greece.
I'm ready for Greece. Wow. Stopped at Five Guys in the way.
That's not where they're filming the next season of White Lotus, is it? Is that where Pat's off to go to?
He's next.
Season 4?
From what I can tell, he might be up on this season too. You know, I mean, there's all kinds of Survivor players are popping in.
He could be in the background, certainly.
Yeah. Okay.
We got 2 more of these. 2 more. All right.
Okay.
We got to.
All right. Let me. So we got some sort of like is this kind of like girl dinner? We've got a plate with a bunch of different things. We've got that's at least a hot dog with mustard, a slice of watermelon, there's pickles.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure. Is that another hot dog on this plate?
It is another hot dog. It is. There's 2 hot dogs.
Is this a woman holding this plate?
The woman's holding the plate, but it looks like she's presenting it to Pat.
Presenting it to Pat. Okay, so some assorted foodstuffs for Pat and 3 options for a caption. A is simple stuff, hot dog and fruit today. Does not seem like that would pass the bar to which Brandon is quizzing us here. Then we have B, num 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 lunchtime. Or C, a lil, midday snackaroo.
I hate C so much, so I'm not gonna go with C. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Also, I have a really big issue with the assortment of foods on the plate.
Yeah.
It just
Chappell, would you say that was it the time of day was mid or the plate of food is mid?
Well, judging by the shadow, it is midday for sure. But why do you have more pickles than fries? How did that happen?
That's interesting. It's not a call.
Smell that smell. Okay. Yeah.
Five Guys will give him a gallon of fries.
Yeah, the watermelon, I believe, has been taken off the rind. So somebody went through a lot of work here.
Someone de-rind that watermelon. I didn't even notice that. It's naked. Interesting.
Is this a snack or a lunch? I think is the question.
See, but would a man like Pat consider it a snack or a lunch? You know, that's the question. Because I think the 4 fries on the plate give me snack, but 2 hot dogs. It's like, give me lunch. I don't know. No. What you think, Rob? You think it's a nom nom nom?
I think it's num 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 lunchtime.
Let's do it. Nom 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 lunchtime.
Unfortunately, this is a
snackaroo.
It's a snackaroo.
It's a midday snackaroo. It's a little midday snackaroo.
A little midday snackaroo. Just typical midday snackish stuff. 2 hot dogs, 5 fries, 7 pickles, and a watermelon, and just a little snackety snack.
Yeah. Our grand finale. It's New Year's Eve.
Okay.
We're at the
all right. So here's Pat, and Chappell, where is he? He's not in Times Square, right?
It kind of looks like it. Yeah, Rob. I don't know. Yeah,
Brandon, are you able to spot this?
This is Times Square. I think it's far from where the ball drops, but this is definitely in the, you could see the ball from standing in this spot for sure.
Okay, so Pat is out at Times Square with 3 potential captions. We have A, ball drop, Happy New Year 2024. B,
not my Pat.
This is ridiculous. F this, one and done for us. Okay? Or C, too cold out here. Need to piss. Happy New Year. Now, is that Pat's wife, Brandon?
I believe it is.
Okay.
From my copious research, I believe that is
okay.
wife.
So I think we're in the same position that we were in on the last one, where we immediately rule out A, and we're between this is ridiculous, F this, one and done for us. I mean, that's not the first time that's been said about Pat. Or too cold out here, need to piss. Happy New Year.
Now the thing is, Rob, you're a New Yorker. Have you ever done the ball drop?
No interest.
Exactly.
Not my scene.
From what I've been told, it's not all it's cracked up to be. So I can imagine it being a one and done for most people. That said, it's also very cold. and it'd be hard to pee in places in New York at that time because everything would be
Yes.
super
Well, that's
crowded.
the big problem. Yeah.
People are wearing diapers, from what I understand.
That's what the word is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, just following the logic here, Chappell, that, the option C is a journey. It's negative, lands on positive. B is consistently negative. Like, I don't think that Pat is changing tone. I know it's the new year and there's a message of hope and positivity, but I think that he's probably more consistent on the negativity in a post. I don't think that he's like really gear shifting mid caption.
I love that you brought that up because he does look absolutely miserable, if not like at the best unenthused by all of this. But look at his wife; she's having time of her life. She's at least trying to make the best of it. But it's like the picture does give me mixed feelings. Like he looks like I was forced to take this photo. She looks like, hey, we're enjoying ourselves. It's New Year's Eve.
It's a night out, right?
It's a night out. Yeah. But I think I'm with Pat. I think if it was me, I'd be like, this is ridiculous. F this.
Yeah, one and done for us. Okay,
yeah.
We're gonna go with option B.
Lock it in, baby.
We
That's
did it.
right. We did it.
Inside Pat's head.
Yeah,
it only took 6 questions, and we're there. Man,
Boom.
that was fun for me. Would
he count as an old school guest for RHAP?
I think so.
Put him on the bulletin board. I think
at
awesome.
this point. Okay.
Can we at least get talking with T-Bird?
Yes. Okay. Brandon, that was a great job on the game. Very fun. And your work here is definitely appreciated by everybody and is even on social media. People are even noticing some of the work that you're doing here on the social media account. The other night you tweeted, I cannot be overestimated. I'm sorry, it cannot be overstated how this is about to be the most maximized joint slay in the history of Survivor. And people took notice when we had on Twitter the Survivor account. Notice RHAP has a gay intern. Question mark?
That's me.
Cheers.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm the gay intern. And I'm gonna keep on tweeting.
Yeah. Neither gay nor an intern.
Nope.
Yeah.
But
he can recognize a joint slay when he sees one.
I can recognize a joint slay. You don't have to be gay to recognize a joint slay.
Period.
Okay.
That's not an Instagram caption from Pat, but it's something for me.
All right.
Could be later. Could be later. Yeah.
All right.
That's me.
Brandon, great job. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Amen.
Okay. Enjoy the Five Guys. All right. All right. And then, Chappell, I have one other thing to share. Okay. We talked about one of the Davids that we played in the St. Patrick's Day game. But it was another member of the Davids tribe who most recently was on television as very astute viewers spotted friend of the pod, Christian Ubicki at the White Lotus. Actually, technically not at the White Lotus, but on the White Lotus.
Yeah. And Emily.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at that. This is why
Christian, what are you doing here?
That's why Uncle Carl hates him.
What?
Yeah. Look at this. 3 Davids came up in this.
When did you get here?
3 Davids came up in this Club Condo episode, and I think that's great. We got Pat, we got Christian, and we even got Davey.
I have to say that Josh Wigler and I podcast about this whole episode. We missed it. And then my phone starts blowing up. Like, hey, did you see Christian?
Christian?
I did. I was not looking for it.
No, I mean there could have been better moments to use Christian. Imagine him like back at the villa in the pool. Like that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been at so many of the different party scenes.
Yeah. Or at least in the streets with the water guns. Bring them back. Bring them back.
Yeah. Maybe this is setting him up for future seasons.
And if we've done 3, because he's canon now. Because remember
He's
that time
canon.
I was at the White Lotus, I was near the White Lotus. Now let's go to the White Lotus, But so the next one, Christian's there. Christian and Pat are a pair for the next White Lotus season.
Okay. All right, Chappell, anything else on your mind for Survivor 48 or beyond?
One thing I've been thinking about 48 is that I do really love this rivalry between Mary and Say. what would you say? Would you say? Obviously, this is very very early on, but like iconic rivalries in Survivor history. Like, what would be your like top 5 or something like that? You got a good list in your head, like the people that were like diametrically opposed to each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the top one to me is Rob and Russell.
They created a whole season just based off of that. That is correct.
The challenge with coming up with great Survivor rivalries is that a lot of times one of them gets the other person out. So we don't really have very extended Survivor rivalry battles happening. So like Robin Russell goes for 6 episodes in Heroes versus Villains. We end up, because it's so iconic, we launch a whole other season about that. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I feel like maybe just sticking with Rob and Lex.
Yeah, that's probably a little lesser, just because we know that they were friends.
One-sided.
We saw the disillusion of that.
I mean, I think Sandra and Russell,
maybe Rupert and Johnny Fairplay, maybe Sandra and Johnny Fairplay. I think those have been good ones.
Yeah.
What about speaking of David versus Goliath, what about Angelina and Dr. Allison? Do you remember that
was
saga
a very
throughout that
one-sided
season?
rivalry, though.
Yeah, but Dr.
Really
Allison was there. She knew about it, and she just couldn't do anything.
Also,
to
it
stop
seems like
Angelina.
that the Mary and Say rivalry has turned a corner. If they become great friends now, I feel like it almost now ruins the rivalry.
Well, I don't think they.
It's like a rom-com
until after the season.
It's like Notting Hill.
Yeah, maybe like was it Venus and Q had a good little back and forth, I guess, throughout their season as well. But I want to see these rivalries make it as far as possible, right? Where they're sitting across from each other, and it's like they've got to the point where I can't beat you or I can't get you out, so I have to work with you, even though I don't like you. And we're at the final tribal council, and we're fighting tooth and nail, right? That's what I'm saying. Like we don't want the rivalries to extinguish each other. We want it to build and build and build and just go on to the end. And so I'm hoping this will outlast those other ones. But those were pretty good ones that you mentioned.
Yeah. And if it does happen, I think the tribe swap could really help it this week. I think in these small tribes, it's very hard to have like these rivalries where you keep going to tribal council and that to have the 2 rivals make it through. So we could be on the verge of something, because I think that it'll be great if they become friends. But if one of them kind of screws the other one over again at some point, like we are back to square one. I should have never trusted you.
Yeah, but we will see what happens. My biggest prayer after leaving last episode was Cedric's wish was, hey, can you 2 ladies just get along and I'll just make a decision that's really bad for my game and be okay with it? And they said, yeah, of course. Like, what if they did? What if they really did get along and then go on to vote Cedric out? It's kind of like grand opening, grand closing. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping we get some fireworks. That said, I've been really mean to Cedric this episode, but he's got to bounce back. This was tough. I don't know what happened here, but we got to get it together. But this season has been fun. I think that we went through most of this Club Condo without mentioning half the cast, and that just shows you that we're getting some fire from the people that are heavily featured on the show.
All right, big week coming up. The swap is happening. I will be back with Stephen Fishback to break it all down after the episode. Join us at 9:35 on Wednesday night for this week's Know-It-Alls, and we'll do it all again when we have our interview with the player who got voted off and another week of RHAP. Chappell, what else is coming up for you?
Over on Recap Kickback, we got Abbott Elementary coverage going on. We got Beauty in Black with Tyler Perry. We talked about his whole entire series, and we have that coming this week as well. Me and Mary are still talking about Extracted. I think Extracted got the week off, so if you're an Extracted fan, be back in a week to talk about that. There's some crazy stuff happening in Australian Survivor right now. Of course, we got Deal or No Deal Island slowly coming to an end, and some exit interviews coming up this week too. So it's a lot of content here on RHAP, but I'm around talking about it. Follow me and subscribe to my podcast, Recap Kickback, youtube.com/@RecapKickback.
All right, great job today, Chappell. Great job, Brandon, on the game. Thank you so much for joining us. We love to read your comments here on YouTube. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. And we'll be back with more Dondi coming up on Tuesday here on RHAP. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye. This is RHAP. We know reality TV.